Hello and welcome to Navigating Baby Loss. I'm Jennifer Sen. Today I want to talk to you about what happens when you say that you're doing fine when you're really not. What does it actually look like to other people, and where are you shortchanging yourself and maybe even dishonoring your baby? I love this topic, and I thought it was an important one to talk about because the holidays are coming up. And this is the time when we do a lot of pretending, like everything is fine, we're doing better. We want everyone to look at us and see that we're okay. You find yourself laughing at a party or at a dinner, and then you go in the bathroom and you cry because you feel guilty for laughing, or because you just want to be anywhere but right here, right now. If this is you, I want you to know that you're not alone. I see you. What I'm talking about today is the grief that no one sees and how exhausting it is to pretend that you're okay. Well, there is a desire to be okay. What if you were just more honest? How would that feel? What would happen with the people around you? And what does that mean for honoring your baby? So, my own experience with this is that I gave birth to my twins, who were stillborn at 32 weeks on November 5th. Within 2.5 weeks, I was sitting at a dining room table at my mother in law's house and desperately trying to pretend I was normal, desperately trying to pretend I was okay and that everything was fine. I was so exhausted at the end of that and so angry with myself and felt so hurt by everyone in my life because I felt like no one else remembered this. This was just me on this island all by myself. Everyone else acted like nothing had ever happened. And what I realized looking back is that that was because I made it that way. I was the one who was pretending to be okay. And they were very happy to go along with it because no one wants to be in an uncomfortable room with a grieving mom. So because I made it that way, they went along with it and everyone just pretended everything was okay. No one wanted to talk about what had happened. It might make me not okay. What they didn't know was that underneath the surface, I was in so much pain. I couldn't believe I was sitting here with my family who said they cared about me, and no one thought to bring up my baby's names or do anything special. And so I want to help you through a little bit of that today. And maybe you can make your Thanksgiving dinner a little bit different if this is you right now. So the first thing is this disconnect of what we're saying versus what we're feeling. You're getting dressed in the morning or for an event and you're crying, but you're trying desperately to stop because you've got to put on this face. Or you cried all the way there and were trying to get yourself together before you walked into work, a party, or even someone's house for a visit. So I want to talk first about the disconnect between what people are seeing and what they're hearing from you. What they're seeing versus what's really happening. They're seeing you going to work, they're seeing you make dinner, they're seeing that you're responding to texts. And so they think, oh, well, she's really doing great. She seems to be moving on. Everything seems to be fine. What they don't see is when you're getting dressed and you're crying in the mirror and you're crying all the way to work and sitting in your car and choking it back, trying to dry up enough to get into work without looking like you've been crying for 45 minutes, like a robot. You just feel like everything you do is robotic because your brain is constantly chattering and you're in such a brain fog that you really can't focus. You're not sleeping at night because who can sleep at night after this? You can't stand the thought of getting out of bed, but you force yourself. And once you get in the shower, you cry again. People aren't seeing any of that. After a while, people stop asking, people stop being concerned. They are assuming that you're okay. They're looking at you and you look fine because they're not seeing any of this behind the scenes. And then you feel the pressure to keep it up. You feel the pressure to keep looking this certain way because you don't want to be a burden. We don't want to be a burden to our family. We don't want to make our friends uncomfortable. We don't want to be the one in our relationship that is still grieving. while the other one may have appeared to move on. And it just feels easier to do this by ourselves because we can have all these thoughts all to ourselves. The second reason is that you want to really prove that you're strong. People keep telling you how remarkable you are, and you start to believe it. Like, maybe I really am. I really understand that this is not something that just the average person can go about with grace. So maybe I am really strong and I need to take on that persona because everyone keeps telling me this. You may be worried too that if you're still struggling several months later, it signals to people that you're not doing well, that you need professional help. You're dwelling on this. So we work really hard to show that we have it all together, while meanwhile, you're barely surviving inside. But if you stop pretending that you're okay, even if you're not, people will judge you. People will let you know that you should be over it by now. Or a fear that, what if I start crying and I never stop? At least if I can pretend to hold it together, it gives me a little sense of control. All of these reasons make sense of why we do what we do. When someone asks us how we're doing, we say, I'm doing okay. I'm getting by. I'm taking it day by day, even though we could be the farthest thing from the truth. But pretending this doesn't protect anyone. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help them feel at ease. It just makes you feel more alone and it makes the isolation even farther. So here's how you'll know if you've gone too far with pretending that you're okay. You are exhausted. It takes so much energy to operate this way if this is not your truth. Exhaustion compounds over time, and it takes so much energy to act normal when you want to just scream. It increases your isolation. People think that you're fine. They withdraw, they leave you alone. You end up feeling resentful because they're leaving you alone and they're not asking or caring. And then you start to disconnect from yourself and you think, there must be something wrong with me. I don't even know who I am anymore. I just don't even know what I need. So, this is when you say you're doing fine. This is what happens. It's like when you walk through the grocery store and then go to the car and cry, or smile when your coworker announces their pregnancy, but then you go to the bathroom and your stomach is sick. It's when you're laughing, but then immediately feel guilty. And it's scared that if you're feeling these hard feelings, it means you're never going to get it back together. You're never going to get back to any sense of normalcy. It's compartmentalizing it, pushing it down, and saving for when you have that breakdown in the car, in the shower at night. If this is you, I want you to know you're not alone and you're not doing it wrong. You're doing the best you can in this impossible situation. So here's where I want to give you permission to stop performing. Stop putting on this act for other people. It's okay for you to be honest about how you feel. I'm not saying you have to be raw and open and fall down crying when it doesn't feel right for you. But I am saying let yourself be truthful about where you are and know that every day, every hour of every day can be different, feels different from the last. And your grief will go up and down continuously. When you stop pretending and start being truthful, some people will be uncomfortable. You may lose friends, but the right people will show up. The right people will lean in, hold the space for you, and support you exactly where you are. That's the beauty of it. So here's my recommendations. Just start small. When the next person asks you how you really feel, and it's someone that you trust and feel safe with, tell them the truth. Honestly, I'm really struggling today. Today's a really hard day. And see what happens when you let someone else in. You don't have to talk about it if you're not ready, but stop saying you're fine if you're really not. You can say, I'm not ready to talk about it today, but I'm just not feeling great. Or today's a really hard day, so I just need some space. If it's someone that you don't want to share it with, it's fine. Ask for what you need from the people that care about you and do want to help you. I need you to check in even when I seem okay. I need you to sit with me, find your people, gather your group, join the Always Loved Club. It's an amazing group where we get together and talk the language that only other lost moms can understand. Be gentle with yourself. It takes time. You've been acting this out for quite a while, and it will feel really scary to stop and share your real feelings, but celebrate where it feels honest and notice how it feels in your body. Notice the relief that it brings when you're honest about how you truly feel. So after my Thanksgiving fiasco, I did tell my sister how I felt, and she had some early miscarriages and she totally understood. She was very honest and said, "Oh, you look like you're doing so great and you're so strong." And I know that I am. I know that I was, but it didn't feel that way. What it felt like was just really hard. Share that with someone, even if it's after the fact, even if you've already done your pretending, go back and share that with someone about how you really felt at that moment because they don't see what's going on inside. Offering them an opportunity to learn from it too. Because I think there is a little piece of us that needs to educate the world about how to treat grieving people because we just don't know. So I want you to know I'm here for you. Try on a different approach this holiday season as we are getting ready to go into all the holidays and be with people that we haven't seen. And know that I am here for you. I would love to welcome you into my Always Loved Club if you feel like the time is right for you. Until next time, I am thinking of you and I am here for you to help you navigate your baby loss.